This is your host, Olivia Augustin. Welcome to the English for Engineers podcast, a podcast that takes a fresh perspective on technical English, business English, and international business communication. Join me as I explore the language of engineering and business and learn how to communicate with confidence and clarity. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. So sit back and relax, grab a cup of coffee, and let's dive into the world of English for Engineers. Your guide to writing professional emails. 8 tips for the non-native writer. That's today's topic. Since working in an international team, what has taken you the most time? I guess it's probably not the meetings where everyone tries to understand you, even if you feel that imposter syndrome creeping up on you. It's probably also not on the work side where you are confident in your technical skills. No, I bet it's probably writing emails in the privacy of your office that really sends you over the edge. And this idiom means that something puts you in a mental or emotional state that makes you completely lose control. As a business English teacher, writing emails is one of the things I help my engineers with. There is a difference between how you speak and write a professional email, which is why it should be taught in English class. Yet most of us go through life struggling to figure it out. If you're staring at a blank page, here are some ways to learn how to write emails effectively. But before I start handing out 8 tips on email writing, I want to tell you why this topic is so dear to my heart. So, as you probably know, I am a civil engineer and a certified English as a second language and business English teacher. And for about 5 years now, I have been exclusively working with engineers from various cultural and technical backgrounds. And with my technical and business English courses, I'm helping them to confidently communicate their international business projects and supporting their careers by equipping them with the really necessary communication skills. And I've done that while being an expert myself and dealing with a new language and culture myself. A while ago, a young engineer contacted me and asked, "Can you teach me, please? Can you teach me how to write English emails?" And in the same month, another engineer client asked, "Could you have a look at this really important email and help me streamline it?" And that's when I remembered that I've been there, done that. I know how hard it can be. Back in Austria, I was working as a civil engineer and I was writing business emails and even old school paper letters in German and English on a daily basis without even thinking about it. But then when I moved to the Netherlands, I registered my business and I quickly had people inquiring about my services. I was super happy to reply. I sat down in front of my laptop only to stare at an empty page, completely panicking. How do I greet someone in an email? How to politely ask a question? How to deny a meeting? How to tell someone professionally to please get lost? And I searched the internet up and down. That was 12 years ago. I searched the internet up and down for high quality templates, but most of them were too informal or too old school. So I had to come up with my own system. And since I started teaching English for engineers, I discovered that most of my clients have the very same issues when it comes to English business emails, English work emails. And I discovered that I could help them with a few guidelines and a few proper templates. And since my clients are using those guidelines, those systems, they could improve their business relations. They're even as fast writing English emails as they're writing an email in their mother language, which is quite impressive. And they just don't struggle to express their thoughts anymore. They can now express themselves effectively and professionally. And so the Emails for Engineers template package was born because I truly believe that every engineer deserves a helping hand and that it's affordable and that they have it at any time they need it. And this solution does just that. But why is writing emails so hard? I could think of a few things. So, email etiquette is so different from how we speak that even native speakers struggle to find the right words. And you'd be surprised how many executives, leaders, and confident speakers struggle to write emails. And unlike speaking, we tend to overthink when writing. And without that natural back and forth of a conversation, we spend too much time wondering if we should use a period or an exclamation mark, or we wonder what kind of slang is okay and what kind of slang is not okay. And because you can not hear someone's voice and someone's intonation, vocabulary is so important in an email. A single word can make a huge change. It can make an email go from abrupt and rude to kind and warm. Even the sign-offs, the signatures can be confusing. When is it cheers? When is it best regards? When is it regards? When do you use sincerely? Do you still use sincerely? All those questions. And emails can be really, really high stakes. You cannot take back what you sent. And what you write in your emails affects how people view you. It can affect your reputation. Email writing also has a different set of etiquette rules. You can't learn it from people. You can't learn it from how people speak or text. You cannot translate what you would write in your native language. Very often I see that with my Dutch and my German clients. Whatever is perfectly polite and normal in a Dutch or German email, if you just translate that and send it to a US customer, US client, US colleague, it sounds very rude and way too direct. So it's not only about translation, you have to take into account a different culture. Email writing has a different set of etiquette rules, and learning how to write emails doesn't come naturally to any one of us. So, what are ways to improve your email writing skills? In our interconnected world, you cannot get away from writing emails in English. So, it's time to improve your email writing skills. And I promise it's not as difficult as learning the English language. And I want to share with you some ways I help my engineering clients learn email writing skills. For today, I have jotted down 8 tips for you. But if you follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or if you are a loyal reader of my newsletter, you know that I have shared a ton of tips regarding email writing in the past. So if you need more tips than what you're going to hear today, head over to social media and you'll find even more. Tip number 1, read how native speakers write business emails. If you're working internationally, you have probably already received an English email. Read those emails with a more careful eye. What sort of structure does it follow? What is the vibe of the email? Is it polite? Is it to the point? Check out the punctuation. Are they using exclamation marks or periods? A period is also known as a full stop, or sometimes wrongly named a dot at the end of a sentence. What sort of slang are they using? What sort of short form or abbreviations are they using? And keep a running list of what you notice when you receive a business email in English, and use it when you need to write an email by yourself. I have a very good friend in the United States, and she is in HR, and she writes the most gorgeous emails. And sometimes there's a sentence before her sign off, a CTA, a call to action, when she tells someone what she wants them to do, that I just love. And what I do is I copy and paste that into a list with really good email sentences. And sometimes when I need it, I look through my personal list and I use one of those sentences. And I really urge you to do the same. Keep a running list of what you like in other people's emails and use the wording. My second tip, be too nice. Without hearing the voice and hearing someone's intonation, it's really easy to misinterpret an email. So use the most polite and friendly form possible. That being said, if you want to be conceived as a friendly and nice person, sometimes there are situations where you need to come across passive aggressive, but that's a different situation. So use the most polite and friendly form possible. If you're able to do so, use a conditional form, that's the if sentence. Use tons of pleases and thank yous, and depending on the situation and depending on the age of the recipient, a well-placed emoji can help someone pick up on your tone. And even if your grammar, your spelling, and your sayings are not correct, people will remember how nice you were. And this is especially important if your native language is way more abrupt or direct than English. Another tip would be to keep it simple. Use simple and clear language. Avoid complex sentence structure and jargon. Use bullet points. This will make it way easier for your readers to understand your core message. The next one is keep it short. People do not have time to read a long email, and you don't have time to write one. My next tip comes with a big disclaimer. The tip is use online writing tools. And you might ask yourself, what? Yes, I said it, use online writing tools. But let me start with the disclaimer. Do not believe everything those online tools tell you. But tools and software can pick up errors that aren't obvious to you. Grammarly, the Hemingway app, or Pro Writing Aid are good places to start. These tools can help you to identify obvious errors. They can suggest better vocabulary and help you improve your writing style. But I said it with a disclaimer. Personally, I have deactivated the spelling control even on my mobile phone because it helps me to consciously look at my text. It forces me to look at them more consciously and more detailed. So yes, they can be a help, but do not fully rely on them. Tip number 6, practice. When you learn conversational English, you practice with a partner. A lot of you are my clients, a lot of you listeners are my clients, and you have weekly technical conversations with me. That helps you to keep up your communication skills. Do the same thing when you learn email writing. If you know someone more familiar with English conventions, practice writing business emails to them. Even without a partner, you can practice with emails you have already received and rewriting them to yourself. Yes, you need a bit of time for that one. And busy engineers don't have time. But if you have an extra half hour to spare, it's a really good exercise. Tip number 7. Remember, conventions depend on the country and the institution. Learning a language is not just about the words, it is about the culture. Some companies might be more casual. Fragments, slang, and casual grammar are okay. But other companies are very formal. And you have to use proper English, and you will hear proper English that you'd never hear spoken. It can get more complicated depending on where the country is located. For example, US companies might use different terms than the UK, for example. So if you're switching English-speaking countries, pay careful attention to conversations and conventions, but also to the kind of vocabulary that is used in that specific company. And my last tip for today, tip number 8, is create a system. And you know, I love a good system. Most emails aren't very creative. Over the years, you'll find they all start looking the same, and you can create your own templates and formulas, but it takes a while. And many mistakes to gather the email templates of a different language. You probably do not have an example for emailing clients and stakeholders, or emailing contractors, emailing superiors, emailing colleagues. You won't have examples for Scrum and Agile related emails or text messages. But guess who has that? As I said in the beginning, this is how the Emails for Engineers template package was born. And because I truly believe that every engineer deserves a helping hand that is affordable and at any time they need it, that's exactly the examples that I put in the Emails for Engineers template package. I do have a couple of clients, though, who said, "My English is so good, do I need templates?" And I'd say, probably not. I do have excellent orientation, but I still use a navigational system. Just because you can do something by yourself doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. And templates are an excellent way to optimize your business communication. You'll find yourself in many unique situations when communicating in an international environment, and templates and formulas, not even only for emails, also for reports, for meeting notes, whatever you can imagine, templates and formulas can help you quickly send off emails in that case, so you can get back to your actual core work. And while you could create your own, it takes a long time to perfect them. And there will be some trial and error. And that's why I created a template for every imaginable email situation you'll find yourself in, plus some business text. And this is the conglomeration of years of learning and teaching my engineers the very same thing. Recently, I got the question, why is the Emails for Engineers template package only 37 euros? Very good question. Don't make me reconsider my pricing. I'm just kidding. The reason I want to keep the price as low as possible is simple. I'm passionate about helping young and starting engineers around the world. I'm passionate about making these templates accessible and affordable for people from all around the world, from all socio-economical backgrounds. And while I do charge a one-on-one client up to 120 euros per hour for custom consulting, the beauty of modern technology allows me to put my knowledge and experience in this solution and give access to many engineers around the world who can use my templates to generate countless variations of project communication. So I can spread out the costs of creating the templates, the tech behind the template package, the Facebook group support, etc. And I'm so confident that it's amazing stuff that will genuinely help so many engineers that I'm taking a bet that selling it at a very low price will still allow me to cover my costs, because more people will be able to afford it. And then I'm winning by helping more engineers, and you are winning because you're getting amazing templates for your biz, and I'm able to make a profit too. See? Everyone's winning. By following these 8 tips I just shared with you, you can make sure your project communication is effective, accurate, and concise. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of English for Engineers. I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you for being a part of the English for Engineers network. For more resources and to join my weekly newsletter, go to marcoda.org or use the links provided in the episode's description.